We have a ton of massive WWE news in this video, so as always, don't forget to check out the timestamps in the description down below. WWE has announced that Trish Stratus will be returning to WWE this upcoming Monday Night Raw in Toronto, Canada, and we don't know exactly what they have planned for her. This is actually great news for WWE. Trish Stratus will obviously receive a really big pop in her hometown. And of course, with WWE having a renewed interest in the women's division, I expect Trish Stratus to be giving the rub to somebody on the roster. Now, we know that Becky Lynch is injured. We know that Bianca Belair is holding the championship. And we now know this new group of Bayley and, of course, Io Sky and Dakota Kai. There seems to be a lot of interest there. And because of that, I expect some sort of interaction with Trish Stratus backstage amongst several of the women superstars in WWE Raw. And then, of course, on TV, I would expect one major segment where perhaps she gets attacked. I don't know what WWE has planned here, but I think the idea of bringing back Trish Stratus from time to time is a good idea. There were rumors that WWE may try to have Trish Stratus wrestle at WrestleMania 39. Don't know if that's still in the cards, but obviously this is a massive WrestleMania for WWE, and with Triple H taking over, I think at this point anything could be expected. Now, if there were a WrestleMania 39 match for Trish Stratus, I want to know who you guys want to see her compete against. The rumor is Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey will be having a match at WrestleMania 39. Is there an opportunity for maybe Bayley and Trish to have a singles program? Because if that's the case, then Monday Night Raw could kind of plant the seed, and then WWE can get back to it at any point. Or do you guys think Trish Stratus will be left off of the WrestleMania 39 card? You know, I would always say never in wrestling. Sure enough, Lita came back and had one more match. I do think Trish Stratus wrestling at WrestleMania 39 would be a big deal. I also think maybe Sasha Banks could utilize a very big singles win at WrestleMania, so Trish Stratus would be a perfect opponent. Let me know what you guys think down below. Now, I want to talk to you guys about Nikita Lyons. I've had a lot of people ask me about her injury. What is going on with Nikita Lyons? Because WWE released that video, that breaking news, that Toxic Attraction would be taking the place of Zoe Starks and Nikita Lyons at WWE Smackdown this past weekend. So now Dave Meltzer actually reported in a daily update with Wrestling Observer that basically Lyons was pulled from the show because she wasn't allowed into Canada. She's not allowed to travel to Canada because she hasn't been given the, which is basically one of the biggest requests that are required. It's one of the biggest requirements when getting into Canada. Now, I don't want to talk politics. I don't really care to talk about your stance on this particular topic because, as you guys know, everybody has their own opinion on it. I'm not saying there's a right opinion or a wrong opinion, but what I will say is that WWE does have to follow the rules and the laws of other countries. And I know sometimes people forget that Canada is not part of the United States, but it is in fact separate. So if you're wondering as to why Nikita Lyons wasn't there, that is the reason. This also means that this could be an issue for other wrestlers going forward if they have not necessarily received the thing. So as you guys know, this is one of those situations where WWE doesn't actually have a real injury here for Nikita Lyons. They were trying to position it in a way that made a little bit of sense because Zoe Starks and Nikita Lyons were being pulled from the match. So I get WWE's situation. I actually thought they made the right call. Zoe Starks and Nikita Lyons aren't even a real tag team anyways. So seeing Toxic Attraction make their main roster debut and then being able to win the match was really good. I expect them to go to the finals of this women's tag team title tournament. And, I thought WWE did a great job of how they presented Toxic Attraction. It didn't feel anything different from them being on NXT. So this could be one of those first call-ups where there seems to be a seamless transition. It continues to be a topic in my videos about the seamless transition between NXT and the main roster. That is something that Triple H and Shawn Michaels are looking to do, which makes a lot of sense. Vince McMahon made a lot of changes to NXT stars. JC Jane and Gigi Dolan went into the main roster. They did their thing. They won their match, and it made sense. It was logical, and now that we know what's happening with Nikita Lyons and Zoe Starks, I would expect them to continue being on NXT 2.0 as normal. So Very interesting situation here, but no, she's not legitimately injured for those who are wondering. This has everything to do with the rules and laws in Canada, and hopefully you got your answer there. I also want to point out with Nikita Lyons, I don't expect her to get called up to the main roster just yet. I feel like she needs just a little bit more time in NXT, but she's doing pretty good stuff out there as well. And for our final story of the day, guys, Sarah Logan is coming back to WWE. WWE had a very cool video package for the Viking Raiders. If you guys missed it on Smackdown, I highly encourage you guys to go onto Twitter or to YouTube where WWE has posted this clip. Very awesome footage of the Viking Raiders, completely rejuvenated. Looks like Triple H is really working hard to make sure these guys get the presentation that they deserve. WWE and AEW do really good video packages, and I wish they do more of them. WWE seems to do them a lot more often than AEW, but when both of these companies do a video package, they do a good job at hyping things up. So Viking Raiders, they have a mysterious lady with a mask who is putting face paint on their face, and guys, it's Sarah Logan. Now, obviously, we know with WWE, Triple H had plans to bring back a lot of people to the company. It doesn't mean they're going to be wrestling. You know, some of them might be doing other things in the company. Some of them might be managing. There's always a good chance that Sarah Logan could be wrestling for WWE when the time is right. But part of the whole package for Viking Raiders and truly getting them over, I think you need to have Sarah Logan on their side, especially this idea that she's going to be wearing a mask or something like that. I like it. It's a different approach to something that Vince McMahon kind of dropped the ball on. I think it's really important that WWE picks up the ball from where Vince McMahon dropped it, and I think they need to go run straight for the touchdown. There's not a lot of opportunities left for tag teams like the Viking Raiders. We've seen WWE kind of change them up a little bit too much since they got called up to the main roster, and now it appears that Triple H is back to getting them in their NXT form with a little bit more evolution to the character and development. And again, this is one of the reasons why WWE is becoming must-see, because it appears that WWE is not also allowing just a focus on characters, but there's also a focus on in-ring and wrestling, and just altogether, there's like one major package that WWE is trying to present. And the good thing is Viking Raiders are looking like they're about to get a big identity, a big makeover. Then they're going to have Sarah Logan on their side. And we already know, based on their work from New Japan and everywhere else that they have wrestled, we know that the Viking Raiders are legitimate wrestlers, and this is a really good thing. WWE is making them look very, very strong. WWE is doing a good job of how they're starting to transition this change for the Viking Raiders, and I just think when you add Sarah Logan into the mix, it's going to be really good. I also think it's going to be interesting to see if they have her wrestle singles matches or whatnot. I think there's a lot of opportunity there, but there is a long list of people who should be used before that. So I'd prefer to see her more in the manager role for right now. I think it makes the most sense to. They just had a baby, things like that. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'm seriously interested to hear what you guys think. A lot of people are starting to change their tone when talking about WWE, and it's pretty obvious as to why. So I'll see you next time.